let's discuss actually the 12 horsemen of art sales. Usually when people come to me, they're like, okay, I have inconsistent art sales. What went wrong? Usually what went wrong is within these 12 reasons. We're going to discover more, and you're actually going to brainstorm why your art sales are inconsistent at the moment. First, if some of you already know, this is the marketing funnel. It's really split into 5 stages. The first one is awareness, second one is consideration, third one is conversion, and then loyalty and advocacy. So it's actually quite simple. What is awareness? Think about when was the last time you bought something from a brand you didn't knew already? Did you maybe saw an ad about it? When did you first became aware of that brand's existence? So that's basically the awareness stage. And then the second stage is consideration. You might be considering whether to buy from this brand or buy from another brand. Conversion is when you actually buy from that brand. You might buy it from their online store. You might buy it from an offline retail location. Very simple. And then loyalty is when a customer becomes very loyal to you. They become repeat purchasers. And then advocacy is when you tell all of your friends, or when you even share on your Instagram story, oh my God, this brand is awesome. Please buy from this other brand. You're telling everyone about how great this brand is. Why is this important for art sales? And how can we actually use this graph to consider what went wrong in your art business? So I think of it as, in Chinese acupuncture, we have these points on our body where if something goes wrong, you use a needle and put it in and then release it. If your business is going well and generating consistent sale, there should be a stream of traffic, almost like this champagne bottle. It's flowing easily to all the next stages. If there's no consistent sales, what could have happened? So I want you to take out a piece of paper or on your notebook. Think about first, like, what might have went wrong business-wise in that awareness stage. What have gone wrong that people don't visit that store, either online and offline, all the possible reasons. So I'll give you 30 seconds, write down everything you can brainstorm. Okay, now let's break it down. Why don't people visit that store? Think about maybe the last time you walked past a store and you didn't go in. Why didn't you go in? Maybe you're not the store's target customer. If there's a tattoo store, I'm not interested, then I'm not their customer avatar. The wrong traffic, right? Or even maybe the store is appealing to a bunch of hippies, but they're located for the wrong type of traffic. It could be the storefront representation looks a bit wrong. How does that translate into online? Maybe the online store design is not very user-friendly, so people don't actually go into that store. Within the first 5 seconds, they leave. So another reason could also be the source of traffic. If your target customers are age 30 plus, but maybe you're using the wrong source of traffic to target that customer. So maybe if you use TikTok to target that customer, that's not going to be the right traffic to attract those people to visit your store. That's a few possible reasons. So mainly boils down to traffic type and traffic source. If people do visit your store online and offline, but people are not engaging and people are not coming back, what could have happened at this stage that people don't stay, engage, or come back? I'll give you another 30 seconds to think about. So, what are some reasons you can think about that people don't actually stay, engage, or come back? Simple reason: you didn't find what you were looking for. The store doesn't have the things that you want. So one is the wrong offers, maybe the pricing. So a lot of times with artworks, if you just have options, they're 5,000 plus or 10K plus. Most people are not going to be able to afford that. Maybe it's not having the right offers for a wider audience. Second thing could be the store presentation doesn't make you feel comfortable to stay. The storefront design is not great. Another reason is maybe the store doesn't do a very good job explaining what they're selling. A lot of times we go into a gallery, there's no storytelling. If no one tells us what this art is about, we feel very alienated. Same with an online store. If you go to an online store and there's no information, you don't feel very engaged, and people don't buy what they don't know. So not having a distinct brand identity also means people don't stay engaged. And then another reason that often is overlooked is that people might actually stay, they're very engaged, but they don't come back. What might be wrong? So some galleries, if you don't even have a space where you don't have incentive for people to sign up for the newsletters, if you don't tell people to follow your Instagram, then they don't really know what's going on, and they just come once and they don't come back simply because they don't know there are new things happening at the space. It's what we call not having multiple touch points. Generally in marketing, it takes at least 7 touch points for someone to actually act upon your call to action. 7 touch points means first becoming aware that you exist to actually buy something from you. Each of these are stages of a touch point. When you first meet someone, you're not going to trust that person in one go. It takes quite a few meetings for you to consider a stranger to become a friend. How do you actually build out those touch points? Between friends, you ask them for their number or for their Instagram, and then you stay connected, right? But for customers, same as well. You ask them for their emails, you ask them to follow you on Instagram. Now to the next point. People actually visit your store, online or offline. People stay, engage, and then they actually come back. But people basically aren't buying. So what are the possible reasons that they do this? All of these on top, they reach this stage, but then they exit here. Another 30 seconds for you to think. Okay, why people aren't buying even if they visit the store, they stay engaged and actually come back? Could be that actually the store doesn't have a sales strategy in place to make a person want to actually engage with the artwork. There's no conversion strategy set up. The same with online stores, sometimes, especially for luxury products, if you don't have a more personalized option, if you don't provide a meeting, especially for your high-end artworks that are 5,000 plus, and people don't get a opportunity to speak to you face to face or over Zoom, they might not be comfortable buying. And maybe also the website is often not conversion optimized. So if it takes someone to fill out 10 different forms in order to buy, then people just give up. Generally, a not conversion optimized website takes the form of not having a solid sales strategy. If you've already reached this point where people visit your store, people stay engaged and come back, and people buy, generally you are at a good place. You should have some kind of a relatively consistent sales. These are bonuses to make sure you consistently get people to come back as well. So at the loyalty stage, If people visit the store, people stay engaged and come back, people are buying, but people don't come back and buy again. What could be some of the reasons? Another 30 seconds. Okay, if people visit your store, stay engaged and come back, people are buying, but people don't come back and buy again. Maybe they didn't have a great experience with you. Maybe the customer service was not great. Maybe their artwork gets damaged in the process. That could be one problem. But most likely, it's because they don't hear from you. If you don't have a content strategy through email or social media in place and not having new offers that encourage people to come back and buy again, then they don't come back and buy again. That's actually a very easy reason. Generally, it means once you have these systems in place for the first three, you want to build out the loyalty and advocacy so that your collectors really becomes your super fans. And then lastly, if people already reach all of these points and then people don't actually refer you to their friends, what could have gone wrong in this stage? So I'll just leave you 10 seconds. Okay, if no one refers to their friends of this brand, but people actually do all of these steps, then what could have gone wrong? Simply, there is no incentive or referral program in place to refer the brand to their friends. For instance, you see a lot of brands, they do these referral programs where if you refer a friend, you get X number of discounts off in your next order, or you get 20 pounds or something along those lines. So it's quite simple. You simply just have to ask your collectors or actually host events where they can bring the plus ones. For instance, some galleries have exhibitions where they can allow collectors to bring their collector friends. So really, we've discussed quite a few reasons why people don't come back. And there's another extremely important reasons for inconsistency in art sales, which is this one. It's a psychological block. Imagine the champagne bottle is being poured into, almost like the traffic is being poured along all of these areas, right? That generates marketing success. But there's someone doing the pouring, which is you have to decide in the first place to send the traffic, to build a store, to allow yourself to be visible. If people have a psychological block in marketing, they believe their art is not worthy to be seen, then you actually simply don't put yourself out there. If you feel very shy, you're always hesitating, okay, should I open a store? Should I not open a store? Having that psychological block means none of these can actually happen, even if you know the knowledge of how to accomplish this. This is in summary like a 12 horsemen of consistency in art sales. I've actually put together all of them again in the back on whiteboard, but I will send this in a separate picture. So there's not really any homework for this session. I just want you to understand the principle of how consistency in art sales works and in marketing in general. Maybe it would help to identify at which stage of this funnel are you blocked, like almost like acupuncture, where in my business body am I blocked? For a lot of you, it will be that you actually have no traffic to your website. You have this storefront ready. It might be conversion optimized.